Now is the time to build new thought patterns to replace the old thinking. Old thinking goes something like this. I don't want to be old. I don't want to be fat. I don't want this job. I don't want this lover. I don't want this house. We have been taught to fight the negative, thinking that by fighting the negative, the positive will automatically come. It doesn't work that way. How often have you lamented something? Did it get you what you really wanted? The more we dwell on what we don't want, the more we will get it. Things that you disliked about yourself in the past are probably still with you. What you put your attention on grows, so let's put our attention on what we really want. Concentrate on what you do want to have or be. Turn all your thoughts into positive affirmations. Learn to think this way. Take I don't want and turn it into I am or I have. I hate my job gets you nowhere except stuck in that job. I now accept a wonderful new job will begin to open channels in your consciousness and in the universe to bring a new and better position your way. Bless what you have with love and release it. Then affirm what you want in positive ways. Don't put your affirmation in the future. Work in present tense. Instead of saying, I'm going to have or I want to have, say, I have or I am. Always be in the now. I am eternally young. I have a slender body. I now accept a new job. I have a wonderful relationship. I see myself moving into a beautiful new home. These affirmations give your subconscious mind something to work on in the now. Love yourself in the now. Forgive yourself in the past. Love yourself in the now. You will find if you practice this, it will be like having a magic wand to work with. Your whole life will transform. And when you love yourself, you get to feel good too. You can't really love yourself without self-approval and self-acceptance. This means no criticism of yourself whatsoever. I can hear the objections immediately. That's just the old mind doing its chatter. Go beyond it. Say to your mind, thank you for sharing. Now, pick up the mirror again, and looking into your eyes, say to yourself, I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. Is it a little easier to say it now that we've done the other exercises, or is it still difficult? This is the main issue to concentrate on. If it's easier to say now, keep going. It'll become a real pleasure, and your life will improve all the time. If it's still difficult to admit love for yourself, then practice. Remember the thumbs. Looking into the mirror 3 or 4 times a day and just saying, I love you, I really, really love you, will work miracles in your life. I remember when my own denial of my good was so strong that I used to loathe looking at myself. Sometimes I used to be so angry I would even slap my own face. And now I look back at those times and see how foolish that was, and I forgive myself. But in those days, my belief in my own lack and limitations was stronger than anything anyone could say to the contrary. My early childhood gave me many opportunities to create self-loathing. When I was 18 months, my parents divorced and I was put into a series of foster homes. And when I was 5, I was raped by a neighbor. And then my mother remarried and my stepfather both battered and abused me. And these were also the Depression days, and there was no money. And by the time I left home at 15, I had a really poor self-image of myself, and many heavy negative beliefs to overcome. And it all took time to change. If someone would say to me, I love you, my first reaction would be, why? What could you possibly see in me? Or my other thought would be, if they only knew, they wouldn't love me. And it took quite some time and much work for me to develop a peaceful, loving relationship with myself. And I'm still improving it. This is a lifetime process. We begin by getting the boulders out of the way, and then we progress to the smaller issues. Begin to look for small things you can approve of in yourself. That's what I did. In the beginning, when I found it difficult to see anything good about myself that I could approve of, I started with my fingernails and my ears. And then I went to some of my internal organs. It's pretty hard to be angry at your liver. Begin to find things that you can approve of. Begin to love yourself or like yourself, even for just a few seconds. The smallest beginning will help. 1 second of self-approval will make a shift in consciousness that you can build on. We don't have to do it all at once. If every day you could love yourself for 1 minute more, it wouldn't take too long to make an enormous change in your life. This work accelerates, and it goes faster and gets easier all the time. Good health, love, prosperity, creative self-expression all begin with loving the self. As we learn to love and approve of ourselves continuously, our changes get easier and we really make progress. Instead of I'm a bad person and so I have to change, let's say I love myself and these are the things I want to change. We are always changing, and we're either changing negatively or positively. If our thoughts are negative and demeaning, then our changes are negative. If our thoughts are positive and loving, then our changes are positive too. I cannot tell you exactly what your future will be like, but I know that if you choose to be negative and resentful and fearful and guilty, you are going to have an uncomfortable life before you, and perhaps illness too. If you are loving and approving and joyous and accepting of others and trusting in the process of life, then you are going to have a wonderful life. It will be joyful and pleasant for you. You have a choice of which way to go. Here's an exercise I've given to many people, and it works wonders, almost like a miracle. If you will do this exercise consistently, it will also work miracles in your life. For at least a month, I want you to say to yourself, silently or aloud, I approve of myself. I approve of myself. I approve of myself. Do it at least 500 times a day. You may say, oh, but that's so much. And yet I know when you are worrying, you can repeat a worry thought more than 500 times a day. Keep saying it over and over and over again. I approve of myself. If negative thoughts come up, just say, thank you for sharing, I let you go. And repeat, I approve of myself. Let any resistance pass through. Remember, resistance has no power over you if you don't give it power. Keep repeating, I approve of myself, no matter what is happening. And if you can keep repeating it, even if something unpleasant is happening, then you have really grown. Your love for yourself is the most important thing in your life. The more you love yourself, the more you will be creating wonderful experiences for yourself. Now, as we draw to a close on this tape, I would like you to remember, what you give out, you get back. What you believe about yourself and about life becomes true for you. We create our experiences by our thoughts and beliefs. Love is the great healer. The doorway to love is through forgiveness, and you can leave the past behind and become free. Allow yourself to claim the new. That which you desire, visualize it. Imagine having or doing or being it. Fill in the details. Feel it. Taste it. Touch it. Hear it. See it. See other people reacting to you. And make it okay, whatever their reactions are.